Everyone, this week's cybersecurity tip involves protecting the money in your bank accounts. I'm talking your checking and your savings accounts, whether it's business or personal accounts. So, did you know that bank accounts typically don't have the same level of fraud protection as, say, credit card accounts? Most people think that the money's safe in the bank and the bank will do anything to protect them against fraudulent charges. It's not always true. Common misconception is the FDIC and that the FDIC will protect against any fraud on your account. However, the FDIC is there to protect you in case the bank actually goes out of business or something happens to the bank, and that's insurance for the money that you're keeping there. In terms of fraud protection, a lot of bank accounts or banks will only give you 3 to 5 days to make a claim for a fraudulent charge that happens on your checking account. Maybe if your debit card gets compromised. 3 to 5 days is a very short amount of time to be watching your money. I mean, you should be doing it anyways, but I mean, that's a very small window to make that claim. I think banks are starting to make the change and give you a longer period of time to make those claims, and it does vary bank by bank, so my recommendation would be check with your bank to see what their policy is. On the other side of that, credit card companies offer up to 90 days to make a claim for any fraudulent charges on your account, so it gives you a much better protection to go back and say, hey, this happened and it's fraudulent, wasn't me, and they'll investigate. Furthermore, if your checking account is compromised, that's your cash. That is hackers and cyber criminals doing whatever they can to get money on their hands on your money, and when they have fraudulent charges to your checking or savings account, that's your cash gone, and you have to now wait, however long that might be for the bank to do their investigation before that money is back to you. If it was on your credit card, well, it's not your actual cash that's gone. You might lose a little bit on your credit line, but typically with credit cards, they'll actually credit that back to your account much quicker. So you have just a lot better protection with your credit cards. But again, everything can vary bank by bank, credit card by credit card. So my advice is check with your banks and credit card providers, see what their levels of fraud protection are, and then make that decision. A good course of action to really protect yourselves from this, because it's bound to happen unfortunately, is one, see what alerts you can set up on your account. Can you set up alerts for withdrawals over $100? Can you set up alerts for wire transfers, things like that? Can you set up alerts for international transactions? That way you can know immediately when things happen on your accounts. Another best practice, and something that I do, is get away from using your debit cards to make all of your purchases. Use your credit cards or just use cash. I personally go the credit card route, helps me build points to get some rewards. I've got the good fraud protection, I can track my purchases, so I make all of the charges on the credit card and then pay it off from my checking account, sleep much better at night. I personally, hate to admit it, have had fraud. It's out of my control. Our credit card and debit card information is out, and anywhere we use it, people are storing it on their systems, on their web servers, from online transactions. It's in retail stores, everywhere. Our data is just out there, and unfortunately, cyber criminals will do whatever they can to get it. So you can do everything you want and do all the things right to protect it, but it still doesn't guarantee that nothing will happen to you. So that's my advice to you, to protect your money. Do what you can to protect it, stay vigilant out there, and stay safe. Have a great week, everyone.